Hello?
Hello. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for stopping by GutPunchRP for the Blighted North, D&D 5e short form campaign. We are a TTRPG live play channel that is based in Charity, and our charity for this quarter is going to be the Transgender Law Center. You can type !charity in chat to learn more about them. We are also doing a fun giveaway for that. There is a set of plushies, and that is an owl bear and a little tentacle kitty that is somewhere on our Twitter. We'll retweet it. But those are open and available to anyone. You donate $1, you get an entry, and we'll draw that when we're done with that charity. We also have a second set of prizes, and that is a little dragon dice bag, which we forgot to grab. We'll eventually get pictures of that too. And then a set of dice will come with that, because we also found a stash of dice from the Kickstarter addiction. Thank you, Dr. Psycho. What else was it? You can tune in for our other shows every other Monday and Friday, and that is Laurelwind on Mondays, and we are doing Darkness Rising on Fridays, but we're taking a month off to do a little Blades in the Dark action with D over here, putting us through our paces, stealing things, probably doing some murder, I don't know. Is that all the announcements? Is that all we have?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll start then by, I don't know if I said it, I am Kyola Creative on the things and this stuff, and I am the GM this evening. We will go around and have everyone else introduce themselves and their character, starting with C.
Hey y'all, my name's C. I use they, them pronouns. And tonight I have the absolute pleasure of playing Solar, who uses they, he pronouns, who is a dragonborn polar bear knight slash ranger is the actual thing that the class that I'm playing. I'm playing a ranger. And Moon uses they, she pronouns, I guess? That's what I just decided. And I'll pass it over to Zach.
I'm Zach, or the gaming author. I am here to play Zaedrin Moonforge, the half-elf armor artificer. Uses he, him pronouns, same as me. And I cannot wait to unleash more artificer shenanigans upon this campaign. And I will go ahead and pass it to Dr. Psychowl.
Hi, I'm Jess or Jessica or Dr. Psychowl on the things and the stuff. I use she, they pronouns, as does my character, Maathea Frostforge Viamello. She is a large Goliath woman, and why am I blanking on the domain of my character? A Forge domain cleric. All you need to know about her is that she misty steps into battle. And I'll pass it over to D.
Hello, my lovely creatures of the dark. My name is D, and tonight I will be playing Patches, the Stitch Soul Path of the Beast Barbarian. Should be quite fun.
Excellent. All right. We will just go ahead and jump right in with a little recap. Pardon me while I read this very messily written recap. I just typed it. Okay. Previously on the Blighted North, we met the party just outside of the town of Glavgar, just as they crossed paths with a family of Yetis that was being attacked by wolves. The party saved the Yetis from the creatures that appeared to be propped up by dark magic. The Yetis told them terrifying tales from the last forest, a huge swath of trees to the west of where they are right now. And then they continued on their way to Glavgar, where the people of the town confirmed and added to those stories. The party currently finds themselves at a bar known as the Flophouse. Having just finished talking to friends of Zaedrin who gave him some dire news about his home in the last forest, they now find themselves beset by another familiar face. And we'll just rewind to this guy's super awesome entrance. Solar is sitting there trying to make themselves as invisible as possible, and just behind you, you hear the door bang open in the most, like, I am here and I am very important sort of way. And kind of goose stepping in, sauntering, comes Elric. Fairly handsome guy, I guess. His smile is doing a lot of the work, just beaming. He has dark hair that is covered by like one of those little trapper hats with the little ear flaps and the fur in the front. And this just immaculately clean blue coat. Looks like it has not seen a day out in the wilderness at all. With a huge fur collar, matching like cuffs and around the bottom, and high boots. Also, a little too clean. Does not look like he belongs here at all. Coming in behind him are, you assume, some people he hired because they are wearing the exact same outfit and look extremely uncomfortable in these outfits, like people who do belong here. But he comes just sauntering up to you, Solar, and my dear friend Solar, don't hide your face. How are you?
Oh, you really should. I really wish you would have had me mixed up with someone else. How is it that you can open the door in such a condescending manner? It's actually a talent. So good to see you again, Elric. So good to see you.
I mean, it would be good to see you, but I mean, apparently I'm just a condescending ass, as I've always been. So, what are you doing out here then?
Right, yes, no, condescending, abandon the people that you should be working with because our families have been on good terms for the last couple 100 years. But who cares about that when we have our own things to do, right? So, what am I doing here? Probably exactly the same thing that you're doing here, my good friend. So, we're just passing through on our way to the last forest. And Solar kind of looks at the table. These are my actual friends. Patches, Maathea, Zaedrin. This is Elric, an old family friend. Elric, the party I have the pleasure of traveling with.
Well, you do look like a ragtag bunch, don't you? He sort of claps his hands together and his smile is very like frozen on his face now. Oh, yeah, definitely a band that looks like they can survive the last forest.
Yes, well, at least we have the spine to go in. I hear you've been in town for quite a few days now. Sitting on your ass?
Waiting for news. And apparently it's good, so we'll be heading into the forest anytime now. Got all we need, I think.
You're also heading into the forest.
Well, of course, we're up here for adventure, we're up here for glory and fortune and all the things that bring a truly honorable name more honor.
To Zaedrin, Maathea leans over and is like, they don't look like they will survive forest. Looks like Fancy Boy goes on stage.
Yep. I give him 12 hours.
One of the people behind him, like a very, sallow-faced elf, kind of chuckles because he definitely heard you.
Solar looks at Elric again, and this kind of, exasperated and pained expression comes over their face as they, pinch their brow a little bit, and they go, Elric, you really can't be serious, right? This isn't about treasure or fortune or, doing whatever it is that you think that you're doing when you parade yourself around these small towns looking to just, take the fanciest bit of treasure from the treasure chest. This is actual work. There's something actually bad happening here, and nobody's gonna save you if you go into the forest by yourself. You get that, right? Yeah?
I am going into the forest to be a hero as I have always been, and as my crack team behind me will support me, I think I'll be okay.
Solar kind of tips their head over to look at the people kind of behind Elric. How much is he paying you?
The elven one chuckles again, and then like a really big man next to him with dark skin wearing the same kind of trapper hat, and it's just like way too small for his very large head. He goes, plenty. Just kind of arms crossed.
How tall is he?
Like, it's 6'8". Like a very large human.
Oh goodness, my back with these tiny chairs. And I just stand up to my full height and cross my arms.
He definitely just like stares you down. Like, he is not intimidated. He's been through this. He's beaten bigger than you. But Elric kind of does take like half a step back involuntarily to kind of look up to you a little bit more. Oh, well, I see that your help is also, at least one of you is capable, but I don't think that I'll be dissuaded by your little stories. There must be something good in there if you're trying to keep me away.
Could it really be beyond you that I actually don't want to see you die, because it would cause such a problem for our families? Not because I care about you, but because it would cause a lot of problems.
Well, I will console your family when we stumble upon your dead body, and we'll see how many problems that causes. Like, he's just getting sharper and sharper.
And Solar, I think in turn, like, they don't really get that irritable, but this is like probably the most irritated that the party has ever seen them. Like, and they just seem to be like feeding off each other at this point. Almost like they're reverting to like teens who are like having a snappish argument kind of thing, where Solar like makes this pinched face and goes, you're so immature. Seriously? I'm trying to help you right now. You really can't see that?
Well, help yourself. I'll buy the next round. He turns to the bar and like just flips a coin, not really even to anyone. Like, it's just hits the bar, goes onto the floor. Another round for this table. They'll need it before they die in the forest. And he starts to turn to leave.
Solar just like sits themselves down very heavily in their chair and rolls their eyes like they've been through this 10,000 times before.
You see that Patches is sort of like has said nothing this whole time and is just sort of like looking at Solar with like a third of a smile on the face and being like, "It is rare that you get that angry. It was entertaining."
I'm keeping a very keen eye on Elric. He's still in the bar, yeah?
I mean, he's making his way out. He's gonna probably head over to the slightly nicer bar.
I want to sneak after him.
Oh, okay, all right. I mean, he's going. He's just like with his team, kind of being like, I trust you all see that we absolutely have to beat them to solve this problem. And they're kind of like grunts of us, like, yeah, yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, we'll get out there. We'll definitely get this bounty. They're very much mercenaries. So he'll like saunter to the like town square where the nicer bar is and kind of go in there. He's probably got a room there. That's really the only place anyone's allowed to stay if they're an outsider right now.
Yeah, I think I'll follow him about that far and then head back. I have more important concerns than this at the moment.
Yeah, back in the bar, Solar turns back to Patches and still with this kind of like irritated expression on their face. Like now I think their fingers are drumming along the side of the table a little bit like anxiously. You know, like when you kind of lose the argument, how you're like, oh, I should have said this. Oh, I should have said that. It's like very much that vibe where Solar is looking at Patches and going, he's we've been friends, not friends. We've known each other since we were kids. His family grew up in the outer reaches with mine and share some traditions together, but he has always been such an ass all of the time. And I have always been there to save him, right? And it's going to be so much extra trouble if we have to save him in this situation, because I think that this is actually a bad situation that we're in, and it's just he's such a headache. He just gets under my skin so
Well, I know from personal experience, you're very good at saving people, so I'm sure you will be fine. Or he won't. Maybe he will die a horrible screaming death. Either way, the fate that comes to him, I believe, is well deserved.
Thanks, Patches.
Yes.
I like having you on my side. Because while he might have mercenaries, at least we have each other. Actual friends. I don't pay you to be my friend, so at least I have that going for me.
Patches will nod and pause for a second, staring down at the dragon chessboard, and go, Maathea, I do not think this is how this game is played.
Oh, I have no clue how to play this game.
Oh, god damn it. And I'll just scrabble all the pieces together.
Also, is like getting paid as a friend a thing? That isn't a viable job.
Solar kind of gives this non-committal shrug. I honestly have not had enough gold in my life to actually know the answer to that question.
Oh, speaking of, because we got gold. Do we, while we are in town, do we want to pick up either some health potions or potentially pull resources and get maybe a diamond if we can, in case something bad befalls someone?
Not a bad idea.
That makes sense. I already gave my money to Zaedrin, as I normally do with the payment from jobs. I do not need things.
If you're looking to do like shopping for a diamond, like they are very much directing people to the market square to do shopping. It is also, I think Maathea in particular would know that it's not super likely that you're going to find a diamond here. And if you want to find a diamond here, you might have to go talk to someone you know in the guild hall. So, other supplies would be available in the like main market square. So.
A few potions of healing would certainly not go amiss. Those wolves have some bite to them. I don't even want to think about how hard whatever else is out there hits.
Well, in theory, as long as we're not getting overcharged, we could potentially get 2 health potions and 1 diamond if we pulled resources.
If we can't find a diamond, maybe something like holy water? Those things definitely had some kind of unnatural life keeping them afloat. Maybe it could be helpful.
DM.
Yes.
Given my kind of innate background and understanding of undead and stuff, could I get an undead vibe check from those wolves? Like, did they seem undead, or did they seem
They're less
else?
It's more like technically be like more constructy than undead. Like they're not going to be as affected by divine stuff as you might hope.
Shit.
Oh yeah. You can make make your way to the north side of town to where the Fellowship of the Hammer is, which Maathea would know about. Otherwise, there's a general store or it's mostly a general store in the main square.
We can go see what my cousin has to offer at the guild hall.
I didn't know your cousin lived here.
Yeah, I have a handful of family here, like, the mayor, my uncle, and then his son also has a forge nearby, but also the Fennel, who's the head of the guild hall, is my cousin.
Does your family live close by then? Are we close to home for you?
Oh no. We're a good long ways away from home.
So making our way to the Fellowship of the Hammer, correct?
In a way.
Calm down.
Indeed.
All right. So as you're walking, once again, you're noticing that the town is a little bit overly full. There's as you're getting closer to where the forges are and where a lot of the work people and apprentices are, there's just a lot more people kind of sitting around. It looks like almost a lunch break, but a lunch break that's gone on for far too long. There is a little sign and a rope across the main road that says, please inquire at Market Square for business. It's low, people are stepping over it if they clearly are just doing what they're doing. But yeah, the Fellowship of the Hammer is just beyond where this is, and it is another fairly large building, a little bit like the Long Hall, but smaller. As you enter, it is again a little bit more full than it would normally be. There is, at the center, a dwarven woman kind of standing on a table, really. They're acting like it's a platform. But she is kind of shouting these guys down. She's we can't do anything about any of this until things open back up. And nothing's gonna open back up if everyone's dying. So if you want to go out there and die, be my guest. One less mouth to feed. And these people are all just standing below her, clamoring about, but I'm not making any money. Oh, my just where are we gonna get wood? Where's my food? Complaints that people would have in a town that's closed, pretty much. And she's just heavy sigh and kind of looks up and sees Maathea. And just motions to you and jumps off the table to the back and sort of skitters around to the wall, just staying away from everyone who takes a second to realize she's even gotten down below and run away. And yeah, Finn comes around and is oh, good to see you. Let's go sit in the back. She leads you through the back into what is also another forge, but this is a cold forge right now, and there's just nobody back there. There's a keg. Anything to drink? Who are these ones?
These are my friends. We have Patches, Solar, and Zaedrin.
Oh, welcome. A sensible friend of Maathea's is a friend of mine. I hope you're here on adventuring hero-y business.
Yeah, we're going to, I hope, make things a little better.
I hope so too, so I can stop hearing about it. So people will be safe. That's why I wish to. Yeah. Can I get you anything? We got swords. We got a shield. We got. She's going through just a pile of stuff in the corner. A single boot for some reason. Any of this? Anything? Just keeps holding up random pieces of armor and equipment.
Do you have a diamond and or some health potions?
She does the thing where she kind of peeks out the door, closes it again. I can't help you on the health potions. They're gonna be probably a little marked up in the market square, but I can help you with the diamond. She's being very hush hush, I got a secret for you right now.
I'm gonna go stand by the door, just kind of put her mind a little bit at ease to make sure that no one is trying to get in or listen in.
things have been tight here, but like, there's always business and money to be made, whatever. Maathea, come here. And she like pulls you over to the wall, and there's a bookshelf that just is random bookshelf, has stuff on it. She's like, could just push this out of the way, please.
Okay. Give it a solid push.
It's just so much easier having you around. And then she like goes down into a floor that looks mostly like it's like dirt or stone, and just pulls up like a little covered portion, and it's just a very plain box. But as she opens it, it does have like a sort of smattering of like fine jewelry items. You would guess normally this box would be less hidden, but like desperate times, desperate measures. So it's like you see a few rubies, like an emerald, maybe like a moonstone, little pieces of gold, and like ingots and stuff. And she pulls out just one diamond. It's like, you can tell it comes up from the Dwarven mines. It's not cut, but it is fairly large. Just the me that's a business person wants to charge you extra. Me that's family wants to charge you the right price. And the me that wants to also get back to business, though.
I only see one of you.
Jesus. You know, big guy, worth 300, but 200 for sure. Please, but also if you make it back alive, I want another 100 just for keeping you alive.
That seems reasonable.
All right. Puts in like a little bag that's made of leather, like ties it up and just like hands it to you. And is still very much being like, it's a secret, even though there's just you guys in this room. I also takes your gold, counts it out, like literally taking too long, kind of eyeing you guys like, what are you doing, cousin? But they sort of, after all that, stand up again and look at you and sort of like put their hand at about like your elbow, Maathea, and are just like, I think it's worse out there than they're letting us know, so, you know, be careful.
I am always careful. She was in fact lying.
And Ben kind of like turns to Solar and Zaedrin, who probably look the most responsible of the group, and are like,
we'll keep an eye on her.
Thank you. It puts.
We'll be careful for them.
Excellent. That's good enough for me. Sure you don't want a ale or have white lightning if you're trying to party, I guess. I don't know what's going on.
I think we are good.
The offer is appreciated.
Yeah,
but
I figured you guys were busy and up to stuff and just wandering through, so, you know, stay alive. And they start pouring themselves an ale from the keg. And just, if you're going, close it. Oh, wait, yeah, push this back and then go.
Okay.
They just kick their feet up.
As we leave, I will look to Maathea and say, your family is quite nice.
Yes, I love my family. Very nice.
I can see why you grew to be so strong if they made you push bookshelves ever since you've been a child.
Yes, pretty much. I have been taller than my mother's ever since I was, 11 years old.
And you see there's like Patches does a deep exhale and the eyes start to turn blue. And because Patches is like shorter than Maathea by a couple of inches, and Patches will say, I miss being that tall.
You were this tall?
Well, certain ones of us were. At one point in time. Stuck in a dwarven body, but, you know, I have worse things going on, I guess.
You should try growing up in dwarven home. I outgrew the table by like 8.
I can only imagine.
We had to put on what is addition to the house in the forge.
At least well built, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely.
Good. So, if that's all the equipment we need, should we spend a night here or hit the road?
With what my friends have said, I would prefer to hit the road sooner than later.
If you think that
Makes
heading
sense
out
to me.
after dark is worth what you heard, then I'll defer to that.
I don't want to take chances. I know that doesn't make any sense with going out in the dark, but someone with a cooler head than mine should make this decision.
I think it's doable.
The other side would be that if it is as serious as people are leading on, it may be better to head out at full strength, considering we did just encounter some of those wolves.
And as night is falling, you are starting to, in the far distance, hear little howls, just oh.
We'll stay the night then.
If it was my family, I'd want to go immediately to Zaedrin, but we have to be strong in order to get anything done. Running in there and then immediately dying won't help anyone.
No, it will not. Thank you. All of you.
Of course.
And we'll go at double speed.
Fast. Sorry.
No, fast. We'll go fast.
Yes.
We'll put the red banners on, because I hear that like a red paint job makes things go faster.
And with that, it flashed for a second, but with that, the eyes like just bleed like sort of red, and it's like, yes, much faster. Red's much faster.
Let me see what I can do about coloring my armor then.
Alright, you are able to pick up, let's say, like 3 health potions, just normal ones for 50 a piece. We'll be fair. We'll let it be market value, I guess. And yeah, you can make your way to the inn in the center of town, which is called something. Who knows? Yeah, it's an inn. It's an inn. It's hard to miss. And, you know, they're overcharging for rooms, and food is a little bit too expensive, and, like, the beer feels even a little watered down to you. But, you know, you're able to get beds and rooms. You can get 2 rooms if you want, 1 room. It's 5 gold at night for the rooms.
I think either way, Solar chooses to spend the night with Moon in the stable. Like, they'll just bed down in the hay. So whichever room number makes the most sense that way. I think they tend to do that anytime that we're in a town.
Zaedrin's too deep in his own head to care one way or the other.
We can get the 1 room.
Right. 5 gold from someone doesn't matter. D&D bookkeeping. All right. And with that, the town, you hear the wolves on the outside, but there doesn't seem to be too much commotion overall. People are doing their jobs. Every now and then you hear like a guard like shout something to another guard down below in the street, but you're able to get a long rest.
during the long rest, you would all be very accustomed to this because some of the blood in Patches is elven, so Patches can't completely fall asleep. So Patches sleepwalks and talks in their sleep, but is like fully unconscious asleep.
Just layers. All right. Well, with that, you wake up in the morning. Whatever else you have to do, if anything, you can do. Otherwise, just grab ye old dog sleds and polar bear, and you can start heading.
Hell yeah.
I think we've got all the business that needed attended to.
Mm-hmm. And what about what time do you think you'd be getting to the stables?
Solar is there and spent the night, so they're also keeping eyes out on the elk that they're very familiar with. They know it's Elric's. Wow, Elric? That's kind of funny. I just noticed that.
Totally fine.
So they're like keeping eyes out on if and when they are coming to collect at the stables too. But Solar, generally speaking, rises pretty early. They want to get as much daylight in as possible.
Under the circumstances, I would say that Zaedrin would be up and out, headed to the stables at basically first light.
Right, it's a little later up here. I would say like it starts getting light closer to like 7 a.m. But if you want to like get there before that, also good. Either way, around 5 a.m., you will notice that not Elric, but everyone else comes to collect the steeds. They're
Right.
They're being paid enough to do some erranding.
Solar just gives them a kind of cool expression as they come in and collect. As I think they're like brushing down Moon.
The big one kind of just mumbles like very like stage whispery. I wish we had the one with the bear. As he's like walking away with the elk and stuff. It's like, no.
You always have been cooler, haven't you, Moon?
I would
Scratch your
say
fur a little.
Showing up around this point as they're leaving, I'm coming in. I just be like, it's not too late to change your mind.
I mean, we're doing our job just like you're doing your job. Well, hopefully, I'll come back alive. I mean, at least hopefully us three will come back alive, definitely, and one as a bonus, I guess.
Well, the gods be with you specifically.
The elven one sort of chuckles again, and they continue on their way.
Morning, Solar.
Morning, Zaedrin. You ready for the ride?
More so than I probably should be.
You don't look like you slept well.
The fact that I slept at all is a minor miracle in my eyes.
And Solar does the thing where they kind of like chew over a conversation for a few extra seconds before responding. We're gonna get there in time. It'll be okay.
The irony of it all is the number of times as a kid that in my worst moments, I would pray for something to happen, for someone or something to just come and burn the place to the ground and talk about learning to be careful what you wish for.
We're not only the worst things we've ever wished. We're also the best. And besides, if it's your duty to burn it down, then you should be the one who gets to, so screw anyone who's trying to do it before you.
And on that, I can very much agree.
Oh, let's get these dogs set up.
And the second you start like picking up harnesses and getting sleds together, the dogs start doing that like very like dog sled dog thing where they're like jumping straight in the air and just like raising a ruckus. And you know, when they're this excited, they're a little tough to get in line and in harness, but you end up getting 4 of them attached to each sled, and they're just doing that high-pitched, like, yapping whine that's like, are they hurt? No, they're just that excited.
Banjo! Banjo, do not make me get Maathea. Banjo!
Just dog sounds. But yeah, they're raring to go, and you guys can make your way down the middle of the street, and the guards will let you out. And there's a few ways you could go here. You could take a tack that is directly at the elven town. You could kind of go around and go through where like the woodcutter camp is also, like the woodsman. The woodsmans have like a separate camp that's a little bit like on the edge of the forest. It's not a huge detour, but it's also another place to investigate if you find it.
I would vote for going to the woodcutters camp first, purely as an intelligence gathering move, just to get a better sense of what we're actually walking into.
See if there are any clues, smudges of black, whatever the hell it was. Good idea.
All right. So we're gonna do travel a little bit differently, just because we're trying to be like a little concise about it. So I will have everybody roll a d6 and tell me what they rolled.
Is there any way, just because I am a ranger and my favorite terrain is both Arctic and mountain, to get any kind of bonus on this roll, just from like my natural explorer feature?
Not on this roll, but I will find a way to work that in.
Gotcha. No problem.
3.
Okay. Oops.
I got 1.
Okay.
5.
Okay.
I rolled a 6.
Will you re-roll, C?
Ooh, okay. I rolled a 1 that time.
Okay. We'll go, yep. And
Swinging for the
then,
fences in both directions.
right, can I get everyone but Maathea to roll a d4?
Okay. 2 for patches.
Okay.
Also a 2.
All right.
4.
Okay. All right. So as you go, you're starting to get to the edge of the woods. You do have to kind of cut in a little bit just to get a flat path, because it gets a little craggy on the outsides up there. But you're going through the woods, and as you kind of come into them, for how sparse the trees are, it's a little bit dimmer than it should be in here. And you very much kind of get the feeling that you're being watched. You're hearing chittering, but not like normal bird chittering. It's like little squeaks. And then it'll stop for a second. And then you'll hear it back behind you on the other side. Up in front of you now.
Am I losing the rest of what sanity I have left, or does everyone else hear that as well?
Nope,
You're
I'm
not
with you,
losing it.
Patches.
I hear it too.
Yeah.
What is the sort of marching order in this? Keep it in mind.
In the
that we-
front!
Okay, Patches in the front.
I'll be behind Patches.
Solar, I imagine, is probably in the back with Moon.
Okay.
I guess I'm in middle.
All right. Can I get? It'll be Maathea to roll me a perception check.
Excellent. I'm sure I'm really good at these things.
You're very wise.
I am super wise, but not proficient. I got an 8.
Okay. Yeah, you're hearing these sounds. You're hearing these sounds.
I
Is it getting-
definitely hear sounds.
Is it getting closer? And all of a sudden, just past your face in this absolute whir of color and violent claws, a swarm of birds just goes past your head and deals 2 points of damage to you in their frenzy. As
Oh
they
shit.
Pass.
Ah,
And then you
fuck.
And you hear it behind you again. And I'm gonna need you all to roll initiative.
Against some birds.
Yeah, birds will fuck you up. I'm gonna need this. What am I doing? Alright. Five, alright. Let me find my swarms is.
Is there a way to put digital dice in dice jail?
We're starting off strong over here too.
Yeah, I switch them out sometimes. I'm like, these digital dice are not correct. Alright, so that was a 5 from Zaedrin. What else we got?
Gonna be a total of 4 from Patches.
Okay.
17 from Maathea.
Unnatural 20 from Solar.
And some birds doing some bird stuff. Oh, wow, that's good for them. Should actually make sure. Nope, that is not the number that I thought it was. Ooh. You know, it's those dice where they have like the symbol, and you're like, oh, it's obviously gonna be a natural 20, and then
Yep.
it's not that. So yeah, good for everyone. All right, so as you're hearing this, these like tweets and these little screams, you are seeing 2 swarms of birds kind of come at you from opposite directions, and they are not a normal mix of birds. It is owls, it is songbirds. There's a hawk in one of these swarms, and they are just like together and writhing, kind of like Rat King like. And they are going to start coming for you all. One from the front and kind of one from the back. The ones that went for Maathea's face came around and are now coming at the front at Patches, and then we have the other set coming at the back trying to hit Solar. Solar's in the back. So all right, first up we have Solar.
My god, we're being attacked by the scariest birds. Solar like ducked as the first birds came by, and they're like, what in the hell's is going? I think as the birds are coming, they pick up their rather rusted lance, and they're almost gonna try to like the birds are coming at them like a baseball, and they're gonna hit it like their lance is a bat to try to like swat the birds away from them. So I'll just make both my attacks like that, I suppose, if that's cool.
Absolutely.
That is a, let's see, I've like forgotten how to play Dungeons and Dragons all of a sudden. 13. An 18 and a 17 to hit.
Both of those will hit.
Beautiful. I would also like to use my bonus action to do my Polearm Master bonus attack, which is a bonus action where I'm going to use the blunt end of my lance to also make an extra attack as a bonus action.
All right.
And that is almost definitely not going to hit with an 8 total.
That will miss, yeah.
Okay, so for damage, I will go ahead and roll my d12s. That is going to be 14 points of slashing on the first and 12 on the second.
All right. No, that's okay. All right, so that swarm just gets absolutely like obliterated as you're swinging this at them. Like one of them just like a baseball being hit goes into a tree. This other one over here like is a hawk and it hits a friend, and then they're just like spinning out of the way. The third one is just like boop. There's like 3 birds left, and they are trying their best and just now angrier than ever, just screaming in rage and trying to claw you in the face. So then, Maathea will have that. It's a sentence.
All right, I will. So one of the swarm that Solar just hit. There's still some in there.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Okay. Like I will move up and Solar, I like your technique in like smacking the mace against the shield. I'll come in and just take my action to bonk it. It'll be 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Those last 3 birds absolutely explode in just little poofs of feather. And you see kind of like at the heart that those 3 birds were just like hanging onto, there's just a little like bit of black smoke that just dissipates. Anything else on your turn?
No, I think I'm okay.
All right. Then up we have Zaedrin.
Well, with the birds now dive bombing us, I'm gonna use my bonus action to deploy my armor's helmet.
Mhm.
And with that swarm dealt with, I'm just gonna take my first lightning launcher shot at the one that came for patches in it. It's gonna be 23 to hit.
That will hit them, yes.
All right, and then we're gonna do a charged shot for this one. I don't know where that d6 is going. It's going to be 11 points of lightning damage.
All right, and there was other damage on top of that, or was it just the 11? Sorry.
Just the 11.
Okay. Cool. Anything
And
else for you?
yeah, since that didn't do it, I'm just gonna fire off the next shot, which is gonna be a 26 to hit.
Okay, that'll hit these birds that are catching on lightning fire right now.
And that'll be another 10 points of lightning damage.
All right. Oh goodness, same thing twice in a row. Yeah, it is. Now it's just 2 birds. There are 2 birds who are very upset, just going in a circle, trying to scratch patches. But they're hanging on. They're trying so hard. Screaming.
That's all I got.
All right. So with that, we will have Patches go.
Fantastic. Patches is not particularly scared of this thing, especially with the teal eyes that they currently have. So Patches will just sort of like very calmly like reach out and pinpoint punch each individual bird as it goes by. I'm just gonna make some unarmed strikes because I'm multi-classed with monk. What a fun life I lead. The first one is a natural 20.
I mean, yeah, these birds are wrecked, is what it is.
Wonderful.
Don't have to roll the next one.
Sick. I just yeah. So Patches just like looks up and just will like very slowly just bird, and is just like taking their time, slowly punching these birds until they stop birding.
You punch one, it explodes. The next one. Third one.
One more. Almost
And
missed
a
that
little
one.
trail of smoke goes off away from your fist. And it's silent for now. You do feel like you're still being watched. That happened about like midday. You still have about like a quarter of a day to get to this camp, and you could camp there for the night if it looks safe. Otherwise, you can move on. But yeah, you'll start coming upon this camp around like 3, and it's another thing where it's still in that kind of like dark, misty, whatever is happening to this forest aura, and it is definitely abandoned by humans. There's no smoke. As you're coming up, it just has like snow drifting in weird spots that people wouldn't let snow drift in, and the tents are sort of like starting to like lean with the weight of the stuff that's on them. And you're seeing all this, like it's pretty clear from about 100 yards away that this is happening. Do you just want to walk in? You want to stealth up? You want to set it on fire?
If we take time to slow down, we might lose a bit of pace, and we've already spent a night resting. I think we should just full steam ahead. But then again, I'm not exactly known for my patience.
Let me do a quick check of some kind. And I would actually like to use my Primeval Awareness feat, which is as an action, I can expend a Ranger spell slot to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiend, or undead are present within a mile of you. I do not know where their location is or their number, I just know if they exist in the mile around us. And I'm not sure what these creatures are exactly, but I'm hoping that it'll ping.
Let me look at something real quick.
Ooh, the book is coming out. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
It's a live show, people. Unless you're watching on YouTube, in which case, hello. Welcome to the GutPunchRP YouTube channel.
All right. It is not gonna ping for these guys. That may or may not be there. I can't say.
Noted. I think Solar doesn't really know that exactly though. So they take a look, almost like open up their mind to like almost like they're sticking their fingers into the snow and like feeling out through the ground, like through the snow, through like the place that they've called home for a long time. And then they go, nothing here, it should be safe. We could take a quick peek around, I think.
Wonderful.
Yes. The fact that there's nothing here for me strikes as even more suspicious.
Yes, the forest at large is unsettlingly quiet. It's
No
never like
birds.
this.
No
Well,
chipmunks.
I'm
Nothing.
okay with no bird.
Well, no
It
real birds.
scratched me.
that is fair.
Okay, as you are going into this like little encampment, again, you're not seeing any human footprints. There looks like there's been like maybe some animal activity in the past few days, but like it's snowed since like last time anyone has been here for sure. People look like they left in a hurry. There's like a scattering of like random stuff that like if you were packing up camp you would take with you, you know, like tools, like axes are still like stuck in a log over here. But looks like what you could have grabbed in like 10 minutes as a lumberjack, and that would be most of your stuff, is gone.
So whatever happened here happened fast.
And everyone sure did leave in a hurry and did not circle back for anything they left behind.
I want to
It
take a second
worries-
and investigate the animal tracks and see if I can actually. Is it just animals or is it animals and something worse?
You can go ahead and roll investigation or survival. I think those are different things.
Let's go with investigation. All right, that's respectable. 15.
15. Most of what you're seeing is just like regular animal activity, although you gather there's not like regular animals here. So it's probably some of these like abomination birds or whatever they are, like landing and sniffing around. There are some slightly bigger tracks that do seem to be kind of going back into the woods, like they came and investigated and then were like there's nothing here also and went away. But those also do look, again, at least a couple days old.
Okay. Well then. There's nothing worse here that I can find than we've already seen. But we're
Those
definitely
are-
late to this party.
Those are the type of creatures that someone who's not an adventurer would probably run from.
Hmm.
That's fair. Those were really horrible birds.
Where
You're a little bit of chittering off in the woods over here.
Patches would like to mimic Solar, and in the sense that Patches has seen Solar try and do like the I'm gonna be naturey and look for signs of life and people that were once here. But like very specifically do it like mimicking Solar's like posture and everything. And can I make a survival check to see anything that we may have missed?
Yeah.
Okay. Patches gets so distracted trying to act like Solar that they get an 8. So Patches becomes more paying attention to doing the impersonation rather than actually looking for the tracks.
That's
Mm.
indeed. You're hearing the chittering of these animals that are probably still watching you from somewhere in the forest. But so is everyone else. Like, I mean, with that, so far you found there's nothing here to find. You don't think?
Solar seems rather distracted. I think ever since the birds came about, because, and I think they even voice this out loud, as they say, the thing that really gets me about all of this is that it's just like a corruption, right? Like some kind of corruption of the actual creatures that live here. It's not like they're new monsters. Those were just normal birds. And they look at Moon a little bit and like scratch underneath her like coat. It makes me worried.
If it is who I think it is, he does not care. There are no lengths he is willing not to go to. No innocent lives that he won't trample.
It's just a lot of work to collect every bird in the forest. Almost impossible. Don't you think? Doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
More me. But if whoever's responsible for this found a way to get each successive minion to go and corrupt or infect others, it actually wouldn't take that much work. Far less than you'd expect.
That's what worries me. Right, we should keep moving then, yeah?
Agreed.
Maathea, did you find anything?
Oh, I found the empty canteen.
Thank you.
I am good at finding things.
As am I.
Alright, so you continue, now turning a little bit more to the west than you were going before, towards this town that Zaedrin knows of that's in the center, more in the center of the forest. It's still not super, super far in relative to how big the forest is. But like, again, it's still very, very dark, and you know that you have, now it's about like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, night's starting to fall, and you know that you have at least like 2 more days to the town. And you're hearing again that little chirping sound, just knowing that things are watching you and waiting. And a little chirping sound. And some birds are gonna fly at Maathea's face again.
God damn, some Patches immediately just a string of curses. Like, don't you do it. Don't you do it.
2 points of damage. And they're just gonna fly straight past you.
Ah, the fucking birds.
And then we'll roll initiative again. Sorry, that was the dice. I was like, that's perfect, actually. Ah, son of a bitch.
No, that's it. I'm not using natural 1.
Okay.
Oh, God bless.
What else we got?
Oh, that is a 7.
Okay, all right.
16.
11 this time.
I haven't rolled a natural 1 on initiative in like a year.
Right.
That's what I rolled last time, so maybe it's just like making the rounds.
There's one natural one that's passing in between all of us.
The
If-
one natural
Mhm.
one.
Hey, if I was playing my wizard, that nat 1 would still be a 13.
Get out of here
Yeah.
with that chronology. Anyway, we're gonna start off, and at the top of initiative, we have Maathea with some birds trying to just get in their face. They're off to your left side right now.
The fucking birds, and pulling out the mace and just kind of like doing a little bit of a swing when she grabs it from the side where she keeps it on the sled, and then comes in swinging at Swarm. And I assume just like completely biffs it with a 10.
Yeah, that'll just miss. Like, you kind of hit one of the birds from underneath. It just pops up into one of its friends and pops back down.
I swear I'm going to kill you little fuckers.
One of them just screams in your face.
Ah!
Anything else for your turn?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, and then it's the birds. So one of those swarms is gonna turn around and just come at Maathea because they are already in a little tiff with you. Ooh, but that's how's this work? That's definitely not gonna hit, is what that's definitely not gonna do. Yeah. So they try really hard and are just screaming and bumping into each other, a little disoriented by just the sheer force of wind coming off the mace as you swung it at them with such rage. And yeah, that is their best attempt at being a swarm of angry birds. The second swarm that was kind of coming up from the other side behind, let me just roll for that real quick. That's kind of coming up from the front is going to hit, was it Zaedrin who was second in line?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they are going to kind of follow almost the same path and just come straight for you, Zaedrin. I'm going to also switch dice with that guy. Whoopsie daisy. Ooh, that's not going to hit 14.
Yep, no, I just immediately get my shield up and crouch behind it.
Yeah, and you hear their little tiny claws and beaks just ringing against the metal as they just flap as hard as they can and are unable to penetrate the armor of the Artificer. Which brings us to Solar with Patches on deck.
You got it. Moon is going to move forward and take a big swipe at the birds that are against Zaedrin's shield with a massive paw, which I think probably will come down at the shield, but Moon is like, it's time to eat birds. And who am I to tell Moon that she can't eat birds? So she'll make her attack, which is a 15 on the die plus 3, I believe. So
That'll hit, yeah.
beautiful. And at the same time, Solar will make their attack with their lance, which is a 14 to hit.
That will also hit.
Beautiful. So for Solar, that is going to be 12 points of slashing total. And for my dearest beloved polar bear, I need to be able to read faster than I can currently read. A D8. Where are we? Hello. D8. 6, 7, 8. 8 points of biting damage. 8 points of polar bear damage. For Moon.
Piercing, probably?
Piercing, I imagine.
Yeah, but that sounds right. All right. So the paw comes down on the shield and crushes about like 7 or 8 birds that just kind of floof into that sort of dust and feather situation. There's no meat here. Sorry, Moon. And then also with the lance, you just catch a few that are trying to escape the giant paw. There's still a good number of them hanging on, but they are now trying to scramble up the shield and kind of away a little bit. All right. Anything else?
Get him, Zaedrin. That's it.
All right. So that'll be Patches with Zaedrin on deck.
So Patches was planning to be a lot more like calm like the first time, but seeing Maathea scream at the birds, the eyes just go red. He's, and I'll use my bonus action to fly into a rage. And out of the fingers on my hands will elongate a bit and curve and turn into blades, much like what my tail does occasionally. And I'm going to activate my claws, and I'm gonna make 3 attacks at these birds. The first one is a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
I guess their health is low enough that I should be rolling damage first, actually. That is 6 points of slashing damage.
And I'm sorry, was it the ones against Maathea or Zaedrin?
The ones in front of Maathea.
Okay.
And then attack number 2 is a dirty 20.
That'll again hit, yep.
And that is 9 points of slashing damage.
Alright. Alright, yeah, that takes out like a few of them, just with like the slashing across them. It's like a few birds just poof into dust again and scatter to the wind.
Dope. Then I'll do like a little. Oh, so is that swarm still?
Oh yeah,
in existence? Okay.
Still about like half the birds are there.
Sick. I'll take my third attack. That's a 15 to hit.
That'll hit.
That is 10 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Then I'll spend a key point in Flurry of Blows.
All right.
That is a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
That is 9 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, how do you want to murder this bunch of birds?
Patches turns into the Tasmanian devil. Just like literally like lets out that laugh and then just like plants a foot on some of the hard packed snow and just spins as hard as they can using their tail to like keep them going as like a stabilizer while they're spinning. And yeah, just like straight up Tasmanian devil. And then using my very strong jumping ability, I'll make my final attack against the swarm in front of Zaedrin. And that is a 27 to hit.
That'll hit them, yep.
And it is 6 points of damage.
All right. Those birds against the shield, they're again at that point where there's about 3 of them left. And those 3 birds are maybe regretting joining this bird cult at this point. But that'll bring us, or if that's the end of your turn, Patrick.
Yes, it is.
That'll bring us to Zaedrin, who is not bird free. Not bird free quite yet. You still have a couple friends.
Still a couple of friends, and from through the little like curved slot that's in my shield, I just stick my hand through, and actually they're right in my face. So yeah, no. Instead, for the first time, I actually pull out my long sword,
Nice.
drop my shield, and just carve through them.
All right, go ahead.
So that is going to be 23 to hit,
That'll definitely hit.
and that's going to be 7 points of slashing damage.
That will destroy these birds in an absolutely epic fashion as you drop your shield
Nice.
and bring your sword across. A few of them are just hit broadside and just explode, but there's one who just kind of tries to almost make it up and over. and gets bisected in half and just like spins away as this little poof of black smoke dissipates from within.
As that poof of black smoke appears, is it around long enough for me to do some kind of arcana check to get a better sense of what it actually is?
Yeah, sure, you could do an arcana check.
Natural 20.
All right. I mean, for what total are we doing?
27.
27? I mean, this is definitely, like, for swarms of animals to be acting like this, something is definitely enchanting them and making them act against their own will. Which I feel like you kind of knew, but then it's also like it takes someone with more of an evil alignment, obviously, to be doing this on this scale. You would guess that the darkness that is above you is also part and parcel of this, and maybe has something to do with it, or might play into, like, animals that need darkness might be in here also, and it might not just be swarms of birds.
Okay.
Because you did specifically say owls, yes?
I did say owls, but that I feel like is just synergy with the brand.
Okay, sure.
Like black barn owls?
I mean, maybe there was one or two in there.
Okay.
It was not. Get out of here. That's from the other show on this channel, Laurelwind. Check it out every other Monday.
Would you say that darkness was rising, perchance? Or?
Yeah, I would also say that maybe darkness has fallen.
Oh.
Would you maybe say that a shadow has fallen?
That's probably what I meant. I know the names of the shows.
Would you say, perchance, that our blades are now in the dark?
Interesting. Interesting.
Okay,
I did my. It was my attempt. I tried.
That's good. That's.
Remember when you signed up to
an
be a
announcement.
DM on this show?
This is ridiculous. D&D, the game that we are playing. So you have exploded this swarm of birds and more birds. And again, you are now in the forest that is a little bit quiet. You gather that like things are going to start coming back in. But at this point, night is really falling in earnest. Like you weren't getting a ton of light, but it's gone from something dusky to being nighttime in this forest. You can press on, try and continue through the night, which will be taking a point of exhaustion. You can try and make camp and see if you can make it through without anything bothering you.
I think we should probably set up camp. Sleeping out here isn't exactly the most welcome solution, but it's a lot better than walking through the dark and maybe running into something worse.
It's true. Let me see if I can get us a bit of cover to at least find a good place to make camp. And my favorite my favorite thing to do is like misuse spells like a little bit. So I would like to use Pass Without Trace to see if we can kind of like make our way to a campsite without being tracked or seen by any more birds or whatever it is that we feel like has been watching us, to see if we could slip away just a little. Or rather, Solar would attempt.
I will say, if you want to make a survival check, add advantage to see if you can suss out where a good campsite is. I'll then have the group make a stealth check.
Beautiful. I will do that. Okay, that was a natural 16 for the first roll. Slightly worse for the second, so that is a 21 total.
Okay, yeah, you are able to, as you're kind of moving through the woods and seeing down trees, there's like a little spot where there's like a few extra trees that have kind of fallen in against like a wall that used to have like a river here where the river is frozen. It gives you cover, you can kind of see out, so it looks pretty defensible. And if I can get a group stealth check to see if anything spots you going up. Calm down, Maathea. And you'll add 10 because we're doing Pass Without a Trace.
Thank the gods.
Yeah.
My infiltrator armor gives me advantage on stealth checks because that was another nat 1.
Oof, da.
I didn't roll great, so that's a 19 total for Solar.
Wow.
The second roll was a 4. 9 total.
Ooh. What, plus 10? So is it 19?
Plus 10.
So yeah, 19.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, how?
Now I know how Will Wheaton feels.
Tell me about it. Patches did pretty good. Patches got a 28 with the plus 10.
Yeah, 22 with the plus 10 and my disadvantage. So.
All right, nice. Yeah, you are pretty darn confident that you are in here and nothing saw you go in. So you are able, like we're just going to do with having like 2 sleeps to go kind of. We'll have 2 people do watch tonight and count for the whole night. And then next time we will do the same thing. So who would like to start watch this time?
I'll take first watch.
All right.
Zaedrin is definitely too wound up to sleep straight away.
All right, we'll have someone else go with Zaedrin.
I can go with Zaedrin.
All right, sounds good, and that'll be just the watch for this first night, you know, D&D math. So as you guys are falling off to sleep, trying your best, like you can't really light a fire because of that'll defeat the purpose. So you're hunkered down against this wall, protected from the wind, but you know, temperature is dropping as it does at night in a place with winter. You're hearing a little bit of that chittering again, just over here and over there. You don't know if whatever is out there sees you, could just be looking. Night watch crew, anything you want to do?
Zaedrin's just thinking, give me an excuse. Give me an excuse.
Didn't hate birds before, but I think I hate birds now.
One does not blame you.
Can I get a perception check from either both of you or one at advantage?
Both do it?
Yeah, both. Neither of us see shit.
Yep. Nope. Mm-mm.
Ooh, okay, perfect. All right, love it. So you're sitting, you're watching. You're not seeing much. You're looking like straight ahead along this little like river valley thing. Having a nice time. When you hear this like snuffling sound. And it stops for a second. Then you hear like something crack, like it's walking and stepped on a, not just like a little twig, but like whatever it is, stepped on a branch that had some thickness and it broke that branch. So it is something that doesn't necessarily care about being quiet. And as
oh God.
you begin to look around, we're going to take our break.
Nice.
Yep. So we will be coming back to figure out whatever is going on there. If you are catching us on YouTube, we'll see you in a few days. If you are here on Twitch, please stick around and see what horrors await this group. Again, please also donate to the charity that we're supporting this quarter, the Transgender Law Center. But yeah, we will see you in just about 5 minutes, so please be right back.
That was cold.